Hello, welcome back. Now throughout the summer I've had a few requests for certain videos, and one of those videos was what I'm going to do now, a shopping haul. So I've just come back from doing the weekly shop. I've been shopping at Waitrose for about 2 years now, and I found that the quality of food is a lot better and it's not as expensive as what people might, or at least what I initially thought. So the first thing I've bought is whole milk, Dutchy organic whole milk, and it was quite a while ago now that I gave up these things like semi-skimmed milk, and in fact that's just reminded me I forgot to get butter. Okay, that's going to go on the list. That I stopped using these margarines and semi-skimmed because I realised when I started consuming all them was when the weight started to go on. So I'm going back to whole foods as much as I can, but just don't eat too much of them. So I've got some British chestnut mushrooms. What I'll do is I'll put the price, if I can find them, at the bottom of the screen so you can compare. Waitrose do a lot of these buy two and they work out a bit cheaper. So I thought I would treat myself to some tangerines, and these were 2 for £4, and as you can hear, it is oh, what is it? Is it like the rice paper? So that, I think, I'm pretty sure, can go in the compost bin. It's all about the circle. I'll also tell you at the end how much I spent, which I don't think is that bad. Also bought some Dutchy organic free-range eggs, because I did some research to see what is the difference between free-range and organic eggs, and the organics were far better than just getting the free-range ones. The ones that I did want, they didn't have for sale today, which is usually the ones where there are different coloured eggs. But what I do is, because I don't want to use them all within a short space of time, like this now will probably be enough for about a week for me, is I've also bought something else to try and reduce the amount of eggs that I use. Let me see if I can find it. So I've bought some egg whites. So when I do my scrambled egg in the morning, I like to use 3 eggs, but I will use 2 eggs and then some egg whites in order to make the eggs last a bit longer. It's something I used to do when I went to the gym, as you can tell from this felt body. So what else do we have? A British cauliflower. If you do something like the ketogenic diet, which I did back in the summer, and I'm going to loosely bring it back, is I was using a lot of cauliflower in substitute for potatoes, because with the ketogenic diet you eat more protein than you do potatoes. Talking about protein, I've already got some chicken that I bought from one of the local butchers. That's already in the fridge. Spinach. I love a bit of spinach. And what is surprising and quite shocking, to be honest, is back a few months ago, I made a video which you never saw because I never got to the end of it. And if I can find it, I'll try and put it online. But basically, I kept all my receipts from all my shopping for a whole month. And at the end of the month, I went through the invoices to see where do I spend my money. And I was surprised. The most popular product that I was buying was spinach, which is the most easiest thing you can grow in the garden. So I need to start growing. The thing is, I eat it every day, so I'd have to have an allotment just for my spinach. So I need to up my spinach intake to grow it at home rather than going to buy it. Something else that I love to eat on a nearly daily basis is broccoli. Now, I buy these, again, something I read on the internet. I don't know whether they are any good for the body, but I've read about it and I like the taste. So I bought it, but today I've bought a big jar of it. Is this kombucha. And usually I'd buy these thin bottles. And I was saying to somebody the other day, how much are you supposed to consume? Are you supposed to drink all that in one take? Or is that for a few days? So kombucha, as far as I'm aware, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm sure you will, is all about feeding the gut microbes in the stomach, because it's been discovered that whatever you feed the gut feeds the brain, that feeds the mood. So that's the small bottle. But today, it's the first time I've seen this, is the large bottle. So again, I'd only consume a little glass of that every day. But do you take this? I think it's possible to make your own as well, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. Blueberries. I do love my blueberries in my oats, and raspberries. Now hopefully next year, with all this fruit, which was due to arrive today, but it hasn't, so hopefully tomorrow, with all this fruit, I can try and cut that out, because this is what I'm doing now, is I'm looking at the allotment more as a survival thing, rather than just having a bit of fun there. And I'm seeing, right, what do I eat? Blueberries, okay, maybe I need to get 6 bushes of them and start to freeze my own. Obviously, unless I took on a farm, I'm not going to be self-sufficient in things like fruit, but if you can cause a dent in the bills, then so much the better. Some domestic things, kitchen roll, some toothpaste. I'm going to try this one to try and get the teeth a bit whiter than normal, and my shampoo for the shower. I do love a bit of cedar wood. Right, I'm just going to put these into the freezer because I can feel that they're defrosting a bit. So I'll be back after the break. Welcome back. So that is the first bag. They charge for the bags in Waitrose. I think it's £1, but that's a good bag. It's the type of bag your mother would have kept to put all the other bags in. So I've already got a little stash, and today I was lucky because I remembered to take them. Usually I just forget. Right, is this a receipt? Yes, it is. So I won't tell you how much I've spent so far. Let us continue to carry on. Now, bread. I love to make my own bread, but if I haven't got time, I discovered this bread, which is absolutely fantastic, I think. It's called Cranks. Whole lotta organic, slow baked organic wholemeal bread. And what I find about this, it's a bit like when you bake your own bread. All you need is one slice, and that fills you right up. Makes a lovely loaf as well. Whereas if I buy the Harvests and things like that, one doesn't fill me, and I can find within a meal, I've had about 3 or 4 slices. Whereas with this one slice is enough. And in fact, I will probably purposely have to have soup in order to try and consume this. Because one of the things about Waitrose is, it's the 18th today, and the majority of the food that I've bought seems to end. They seem to have a very short lifespan in Waitrose. Maybe that's a good marketing ploy because you'll go in every week. But this bread now, this will be finished on the 20th. So if I find I've got to a point where there's only half been consumed, then I will put the rest into the freezer. One of my favourites coming up here now are the old Waitrose sausages. Buy 2 for £6. And these I used by the 24th. I don't think Waitrose has a best before. They just have a use by policy. But these are the sausages that I absolutely love. pork and Bramley apple, and especially these ones, pork and caramelized red onion sausages. And sometimes I can't decide which I'm going to have, so I'll have one each. Another thing is, I was never really a fan of bacon, and I was listening to an interview with Dr. Myhill over on the Richard Vobes channel, and if I can find the video, I'll put the links down below. And she is a specialist in treating people who have chronic fatigue syndrome, which is the condition that I've got. And long story short, she advised eating bacon. So I started to eat this during the summer, and this is what I was eating during my ketogenic lifestyle. But the trick is to buy the ones that says made without nitrates. Apparently that is healthier, or a lot healthier than having just the normal bacon. It is something to do with the way that they preserve the meat. And then for my, what do you call them, oats. So I have these oats. I also got these pots from Waitrose. Lovely they are as well. Do that. So I have oats, and I tend to have oats, a bit of fruit, and I use almond milk. And I use this one, which has a best before date of March. So this will last quite a bit, but I know I'll probably get through these in the next month. And then the final thing, and this is the problem I have with Waitrose, is, oh no, there's one more thing before I go on to that. I thought I would treat myself, so I've bought a candle called White Tea and Bergamot. Obviously with cats, they can be a bit smelly sometimes, especially like today. It's raining and they've come in soaking, so I'll put a candle on. But what I was saying was, every time I go to the self-checkout in Waitrose, I get myself sorted, and then I'm just about to leave, and then they've got the plant stall. So rather than having the plant stall inside, it's sort of outside. But I tend to forget to go there first, and I go and do the shopping. So today, again, a tradition for me, and if you've been watching me for any length of time, you might guess what's about to come up. I have bought a amaryllis for the house, this is, and I will be potting that up in the next few days. And I always tend to go for the red ones. I do love the red colour. Now, that's £8. And if I had a bit of patience, I would have waited, because I know in about 3 weeks, these will be £4. But I couldn't wait, I wanted to get on. So, how much do you think all this, in fact, when you lay the whole thing out like that, it doesn't really look that much, does it? But this now will see me through for about a week to 10 days. So how much do you think all that cost? And what's quite good is I've just found another receipt because I use my own bags. So today's shopping came to a total of £68.41p, which I think that is pretty good. And in fact, this other receipt that I found, this was from a couple of months ago, and that came to £56. So taking out the amaryllis bulb and taking out the candle, it would probably be around about £50. And I found that when I went to the local stores, I didn't really know how much I was spending, because I was always the type, when you come to London, you go to the shop and you do a big shop once a month or something. So I did that for a while. And then I went through a period for my longest time here where you just eat something and then you go, oh, there's nothing in, so I'll just go out and buy some milk. So you buy as you go. So you never have a big shop. And I think doing that it's a lot harder to try and keep track of the money and how much you're spending. So since going to Waitrose, taking out all the fancy stuff, like I bought quite a few of these over the months. I've been building up my collection of these. If I can find the other one, because it's very good for the allotment, this one is. So I have a small one, normal size one, and then I have the jumbo one, which is for my oats. So taking out all those extravagances then, when I just shop to the bare bones of what I want, it usually comes in about £50 a week. So £200 a month. And if I can grow my own spinach and be a bit more canny when it comes to things like that, I could bring the bill down even more. But I don't know. Is that the norm for a single person, £50 a week? Or is that extravagant? Tell me in the comments below. How many do you shop for? What is usually your bill? Or are you a monthly shopper, a weekly shopper? Since going to Waitrose, I've become more of a weekly shopper. And I did used to go on a Monday night, but I found when you go on a Monday night, a lot of the use by dates were literally for 2 days later. But today it's Wednesday afternoon, just before 3 o'clock, and it was very quiet. I think I caught, in fact, there were more staff than customers there today. So I think Thursday afternoon might be my day for starting to go there, because there were lots of food available and all the best before dates were in like a week or 10 days time. So tell me below, what are your shopping habits like? Now, I have this kombucha every morning and I haven't had it for a while, so I'm going to have a drink now. But the only problem with it is it's a bit fizzy, so it can make you burp a bit. So before I do that, I'm going to say thanks for joining me. If you want to find some extra content, pop over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/Sean James Cameron. All the links are in the description below. And I will catch up with you really soon. So from me until then, bye for now. Right, I think it's time for a cup of tea.